Alright, so on to this project for my bits I want to fit in the toolbox. The spot that I want to fill is going to be 6.5 by 2.5 inches. So I am going to mark that down here and go ahead and give it a cut. And then I'm just going to make the bits fit in that spot. So 2.5, I'm going to cut the knot out of this piece of excess wood. 2.5 is there. Love this ruler. Always mark your X on your throwaway. And that's 2.5, and I need to make it 6.5 long. I want to cut that edge off because it's got glue or whatever from the manufacturer that made the wood, or cut the wood originally, or marketed the wood, and whatever they do. Okay, so we're gonna nip that off. Okay, so I'm gonna go to 6.5 right here. Line that up perfectly because I can see right through it. And there's my spots. So the question is table saw or chop saw? I'm just going to go with the table saw. Another X. Maybe I'll use this for something else. I don't know. So let's go get this cut up. A lot of sanding on the back side. I want to see how deep my other one is too. I want them to match so they're kind of the same size. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to notch out about a 1/2 inch here and cut this off right here to make little handles on it so you can lift it. And then with the width right here, I can probably go, I can go through probably 4 deep. However, once I get it cut and the size I want it, then I can come back and figure out kind of how I want to lay it out. If I need to make it skinnier, I can make it skinnier, not a big deal. I can make it shorter too. I kind of like the length though, but we'll see. All right, time to make some cuts. All right, there's a knot on the bottom. This will have to do. Now we're going to do the handles. I've got it set at a 1/2 inch here, which it's a little off because of where the blade is in the middle, so it'll still be fine. I want to drop this down so it's about half board width. That's good. Now we're going to do a quarter. going to be difficult because this is going to want to drop down in there. Alright. Really, bugs? It's February. So, you can see we've got the little lifts right now. We've got a rough cut piece of wood. Let's go line up some sockets, shall we? So what you're looking at here, I realize that this is a little bit more than I need here. I'm going to go ahead and cut off a 1/2 inch and just make this 2 inches total width. So it's going to be a little skinnier than that spot I needed in my toolbox, but oh well, that's fine. At least it's not hanging over in a weird location. What I did here is I went from here, what is this, a 1/2 inch? Yeah, I went a 1/2 inch in from each end and drew a line through here, and then I went a 1/2 inch in this way and drew a line to kind of remind myself where the ends are, where the handles are. You don't want to drill through the handle. That would just look crazy. So I'm actually going to mount these upside down. I'm just going to drill a hole and just drop them down in there and let them stick up. So I don't know if I'm going to drill all the way through it, or if maybe I'll just drill down, you know, this far into the wood, which that would be fine too. That's probably what I'll end up doing. I'll just set my drill press to that depth and just go that route, just so they don't break through the bottom. Although if they do break through the bottom, that's fine. If I pick it up, they'll just, you know, slide down to the collar here. So what I'm doing is I'm actually kind of lining these out in order from, you know, biggest to smallest. I've drawn circles around these just to kind of give me an idea of distance between them. This top row, since I have more of the SAE versus the metric, I've got to put more on, so I've got to be a little closer. I'm just kind of drawing a circle so I can eyeball it and see where center is going to be. So I want to have a little bit of a gap between these. Alright, so I've got a line to cut. Started going on this line on accident. This will be cut off. Then I've got these right here to look for a center point along that line to keep them straight. And we'll go cut this off real quick and then go drill these out. Okay, so as you can see, I've built a fence, a makeshift fence. So regardless if I'm straight on the line or not, I'm going to be consistent on both sides. So I think that's good enough for me. I'm going to roll with it. So here we go. It's a little off. I'm going to test it. So, doesn't want to go down. Top of that, I feel like it's possibly deep enough. You know, if I go all the way into this, all the way through it, they'll sit down a little more flush, but do I really need them flush? I really don't. They can stick up. So I'm going to get a slightly bigger drill bit. So this may completely screw me up. Alright, so I'm going to have to adjust all of this again. So I'm going with a 9/32 here. We'll see how this one does. It looked like it was a little bit longer, so let me test it. Yeah, it's too deep. So we're going to drop it down and fix the fence and whatnot. I'd say that's pretty good. Didn't go through the bottom as far as I can tell, but it got down there pretty deep. It's deeper than it was originally, so we're making progress. Okay, now like 20 more of these to go. Alright, so here's what we've got. Seem a bit off, but we shall see. They fit, so that's nice. What, kitty? Meow. Not too much play. Should stay in there pretty well. Alright, so now it's time to sand. Alright, let's put some bits in it. Okay, so this is my metric side. They're holding okay. Over time, you know, if I have this in 10 years, 20 years, and I actually use it, I could see them becoming kind of loose in there. overall looks pretty good. Looks like these holes right here might be a little bit leaning. I kept having trouble getting stuff underneath here. The wood itself may not even be flat, so may have been angled in the drill press going in. Still good enough where just walking up and looking at it, you'd never notice unless you really eyeballed it. Now, could I go crazy on this thing, and could I have drilled it out? Maybe put like magnetic strips along the bottom, and then maybe, you know, tacked a piece of wood back underneath here, and then sanded it. Sure, I could go crazy like that, but I think this is good enough. But that is a good idea. If you do want to go crazy, good idea. Just drill it through. Add an inset little piece of metallic tape down there. Put another piece of wood underneath it and tack it in. Be kind of neat. If I had the time or cared enough, I would do it. But I think all I need to do now is just stain this, and we're done. All right, time to stain. Got our piece looking good. I couldn't find any gloves for some reason, so oh well. I'm gonna try to go gloveless on this and see how bad it turns out. I just grabbed a Q-tip and set it somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna try to use a Q-tip on this, see if this will work. Get down in those holes. That is way too much stain, I think. Am I twisting this thing the wrong way or what? This Q-tip does not want to make it. All right, now we're gonna let it dry and see what it looks like. All right, so here's the final product. I think it turned out pretty good. Nothing's fallen out. I'm over 90 degrees. I'm gonna stick it back in here. Leave some room up here for the ratchets and such. And that's it. Thanks for watching.